Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025. This is a special meeting of the Newburgh Enlarged City School District Board of Education, and I welcome everybody. We are going to begin tonight with the Pledge of Allegiance. Mr. Levenstein.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for a moment of silence. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. McCoy, please call the roll.
Ms. Christine Bello.
Here.
Thomasina Bello.
Here.
Ms. Boucher.
Here.
Mr. Bergarelli.
Here.
Ms. Burks.
Here.
Mr. Duray.
Present.
Mr. Howard.
Here.
Mr. Levenstein.
Here.
Ms. Politti.
Here.
Thank you. First up is public comment on agenda items. And just a couple of notes before we begin. It is a special meeting. There's no requirement to have public comments at a special meeting. However, I've been very consistent that the people who own the district are on the other side of the blue tape. And I believe that sincerely. And I believe in open government. And I believe if you have something to say, please come to the podium, at the podium, and say it respectfully. We have new rules in place tonight. It's actually the old rules, but you have 5 minutes. We're only tonight speaking on agenda items. I realize there's some controversial items, which is, again, why I welcome your comments. They're needed. You are the public. So with that, we will begin. Thank you.
First person signed up to speak on agenda items is Ms. Dawn Fuchek.
Good evening. My name is Dawn Fuchek. I'm a resident of the town of Newburgh. Tonight I'll be speaking on agenda items 5.1 and 6.3. While I know that nothing is official until the board votes on item 5.1, I would like to offer my congratulations and welcome back Dr. Manning Campbell, assuming that this resolution is approved this evening. I am hopeful that with her leadership, our district will once again be centered on student achievement and guided by thoughtful, evidence-based decisions that prioritize what is best for our students. I also hope that the community will soon have the opportunity to hear a clear plan for addressing our graduation rates as well as our ELA and math performance. We have been told by this district and this board that literacy is a top priority. I respectfully once again ask that you share with the community where we currently stand, where we are going, how we will get there, and how this plan will be monitored and evaluated to ensure the goals are being met. In addition, with the superintendent reinstated, I strongly encourage all appropriate parties to come together and collaborate toward resolving the ongoing teacher contract negotiations. The NTA has been without a contract since July 1st, and it is critical for this district and union leadership to work in partnership so we can move this district forward and ensure success for all of our students. Regarding agenda item 6.3, I see that the board is considering the appointment of an individual to an assistant principal position. This individual is the former superintendent of the Pine Bush School District who resigned abruptly on June 25th, 2024. At that time, their salary was $238,150. Now they're being recommended for a position here in Newburgh at a huge demotion and a salary of only $146,441. I raised a similar concern at the last regular meeting when another comparable resolution appeared on the agenda. I ask again, do our current hiring practices ensure that we are selecting only the most qualified candidates? Are candidates being properly vetted for the positions to which they are being recommended? It is concerning to see repeated instances of individuals who have abruptly resigned from prior positions being brought forward as candidates to work here in our district. And lastly, I just want to ask for the status of the hiring regarding our assistant superintendent for exceptional learners. We know that there are many issues in that particular department, not only in our district, but across this nation. And if we're looking to serve all of our students and meet all of their needs, it's once again critical that we have the appropriate person and the most qualified person leading that department and ensuring success for all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Dennis Grant.
Good summer day. This is Dennis Grant. I had a quick question about Resolution 6.7 and 6.8. It says, 6.7 says, resolution to abolish and create new positions. What positions? That's kind of vague. And 6.8 says resolution to create new positions. What new positions? I might have missed something. I don't know. Please clarify. That's all I have. Until later.
There's nobody else signed up to speak on agenda items. If you would like to address the board on agenda items, please come to the podium.
Thank you. We will then move into executive session. Be it resolved that the Board of Education hereby recesses into executive session for the following purpose: matters leading to the employment of particular employees, employment history of employees, and to obtain advice from legal counsel. Could I get a motion and a second, please?
So moved. Second?
Ms. Thomasina Bello,
Yes.
Ms. Boucher, Mr. Bergarelli,
Yes.
Ms. Burks,
Yes.
Mr. Duray,
Yes.
Mr. Howard,
Yes.
Mr. Levinstein,
Yes.
Ms. Politi,
Yes.
Ms. Christine Bello.
Yes.
Thank you. Based on We're good? Okay, we are back from executive session. Next item up is item 4, Superintendent.
So I have Resolution 4.1 for your consent and consideration for district calendar.
Thank you. Can I get a motion and a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion on the district calendar? We're good.
Ms. Boucher,
Yes.
Mr. Bergarelli,
Yes.
Ms. Burks,
Yes.
Mr. Duray,
Yes.
Mr. Howard,
Yes.
Mr. Levinstein,
Yes.
Ms. Politi,
Yes.
Ms. Christine Bello,
Yes.
Ms. Thomasina Bello.
Yes.
Thank you. That concludes my items.
Thank you. Moving on to item 5, Board President. Resolution to authorize the Board President to sign an employment-related agreement with Dr. Jacqueline Manning Campbell. I'll read the resolution. Be it resolved that the Board of Education hereby rescinds its prior action to suspend Superintendent of Schools Dr. Jacqueline Manning Campbell effective January 23, 2025, based upon proceedings commenced on January 23, 2025, and be it further resolved that the Board hereby rescinds all charges brought against Dr. Manning Campbell on January 23, 2025, and June 24, 2025, with prejudice against being refiled, and be it further resolved that the Board hereby authorizes its President to sign an employment-related agreement with the Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Jacqueline Manning Campbell, as presented to the Board at this meeting. A copy of said agreement shall be incorporated by reference within the minutes of this meeting. Can I get a motion and a second?
So moved. Second.
Discussion, I'll begin. Thank you. Good evening. As your Board of Education, our highest responsibilities are to act in the best interest of our students, staff, and community. Tonight, I want to share an important update regarding the superintendent. In January, the previous board voted to suspend the superintendent. Following the May 2025 Board of Education candidate selection, when it was clear that the majority on the board would change over the strong objections of board members Letitia Politti, Ray Bergarelli, Phil Howard, and me, additional charges were brought against the superintendent of schools. The previous board voted to require 2 audits, one about the budget proceedings of the district and another so generic that it led to a bill of over $185,000. The end result was that there was no finding of fraud, waste, or abuse on the part of the superintendent, the board, or others. Following the review of the audits, it became clear that there was no reason to continue the suspension of the superintendent of schools and that it was time to reestablish forward progress for our school district. Tonight, our board is voting on a resolution to bring Dr. Manning Campbell back to the helm of the district to lead the district forward for a productive 2025-2026 school year. The previous board and its acting superintendent made personnel decisions at the conclusion of the 2024-2025 school year, which were in flagrant disregard of the staffing presented to the Newburgh school community before the vote on the 2025-2026 school year budget. New positions were added at the recommendation of then acting superintendent, Dr. Lisa Vaughn, which created an imminent threat of litigation by the union, which represents our directors and building level administrators. There have been significant fiscal legacy costs in undoing the reckless personnel decisions made by the previous board. To add insult to injury, the parting gift of the previous board was to vote an extension to the contract of Dr. Vaughn to serve as acting superintendent through the summer and fall of 2025. The present board, with the assistance of acting superintendent Onyx Peterson, has been correcting course and disengaging from contingent financial liabilities. The combined cost of employing both an unnecessary acting superintendent and a suspended superintendent between February 2025 and June 2025 exceeded $175,000. Also disturbing and upsetting was the careless and callous way in which employees, many of them long-term, many of them our friends and neighbors, were treated unprofessionally. The ill will created by this treatment of staff will linger in the district for some time. It is my sincere hope, and I am emphasizing my sincere hope, that the returning superintendent will make healing the district staff at all levels a priority. I believe the board will fully support that process. On May 20th, 2025, the community made their feelings known at the ballot box. Those who had assumed victory were defeated along with their toxic agenda. I commend the community for expressing their views in the most democratic way possible. After careful review of the charges and lengthy discussions with concerned parties and legal counsel, the board, meaning 5 or more members voting in the majority, believes the charges should be rescinded by resolution, and that Dr. Manning should be restored to her position as superintendent and CEO of the Newburgh Enlarged School District, effective upon a majority vote. We invite your support as we move forward together, united by a renewed focus on what truly matters, ensuring that every student in Newburgh receives the educations and opportunity they deserve. Thank you. Mr. Levenstein.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would like to be clear about my vote on this resolution. I ran to be a school board member to be part of a new majority that would disable the previous majority and the poor decisions that they were making for our district, and to remove the previous acting superintendent. That was completed on day 1. Next is to return Superintendent Manning Campbell to her job that she is contracted to perform, and that she was suspended from by the previous board majority. Do I want Dr. Manning Campbell to return? Yes, I do. And I do not want to be perceived as an obstacle for her return. I understand the fiscal position the previous board majority has put us in. They suspended one superintendent, they hired a second superintendent, and they pushed aside a third superintendent. Don't let anyone tell you that the current board is responsible for this fiscal mismanagement. I also understand the time factor at play. I'll ask, why are we at this point 7 months since the charges have been filed? Why did the previous board majority stall these proceedings? Again, do not blame the delay on the current board. With all of this said, I strongly feel that the district should allow the process to go forward, meaning allowing the charges brought against Dr. Manning Campbell by the previous board majority to be presented to an official hearing officer and a decision made by an independent arbitrator. I fully expect Dr. Manning Campbell will be returned to her position by the arbitrator, and I feel decisions made by an independent arbitrator versus the current school board should go a long way to alleviate the concerns of our community. Also, I would hope that any future boards would allow the same independent arbitrator process to go forward on charges that this or any other boards might put in place. I am voting no, and my hope would be that this independent arbitrator hearing process would be concluded swiftly and that Dr. Jackie Manning Campbell be placed back in the helm of this district. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Levenstein. Mr. Howard?
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. My question is for Mr. Shaw. Mr. Shaw, given your years of service in education law and many cases that you have had from a hearing level, what is your professional opinion if moved forward with the charges? What would be the outcome from the judge, and what would be the timeline?
I'd like the board to know that I'm not clairvoyant. You've heard the board president speak about all facts and circumstances surrounding this issue. The public has access to the settlement agreement, and the settlement agreement is in the nature of de-escalating litigation. You'll see, for example, that as the charges are being withdrawn, there's also a promise on the part of Dr. Manning Campbell not to pursue litigation based upon the charges against the board that's seated now or the board that was seated last year. And this district has had a lot of litigation, and it's seen a lot of expenses that might be redirected and not to be incurred in the future. So to the extent to which the question may be asked, do I believe this is a reasonable outcome for the district? I do, but I'm not going to get into specifics of the charges, so I'll leave it there.
Okay, a follow-up to that. What options will the hearing officer have? Can you explain the litigation of the contract law? What would be the options for a decision back from the hearing officer?
There a consensus for me to answer that?
Yes.
Okay. So a superintendent's employment contract is meant to be honored or to be terminated, and if it's terminated for cause, the obligations of the contract end. Unlike proceedings against an employee, which under statutes allow for various degrees of quote-unquote discipline. For example, a tenured teacher, the disciplinary outcome could be reprimand, a fine, suspension without pay for a period of time, or termination. A superintendent's employment contract can lead to two outcomes, either termination of the contract or continuation of employment. There are no middle grounds, and therefore it has to be very carefully considered whether or not it's likely an outcome that an arbitrator or a hearing officer would be finding, possibly on a binding basis or on a basis that a court would uphold, finding the termination is appropriate. So it's a heavy lift. Also, the length of the contract involved is a consideration. You may be setting aside $1 million or more worth of consideration, and weighed against that is the gravity of the charges which may be proven. So there's a lot of calculus to that.
To my last question, what would be the timeline? If this was, would go to hearing, if that was a decision of this board, what timeline are we talking about when this could be concluded?
Realistically, no sooner than a 6-month period of time.
Thank you.
Ms. Bello?
I have several questions. First of all, why is this resolution considered urgent while we have an acting superintendent? I mean, why did this have to be on this agenda for tonight? Why couldn't it wait? I mean, we have a regular meeting next week.
It's the feeling that we have over 10,000 children returning to school tomorrow, and we need leadership in the district. Onyx Peterson does a fantastic job, but we need Dr. Manning restored. We need a superintendent. The staff needs a superintendent, and that is why it's not waiting till next Tuesday.
So then my next question would be, what is the purpose of policies if we're going to evade them? And by the way, if you are sidestepping law or sidestepping policy for the sake of expediency, that sets a real poor example for our students, that's for sure. We have rules in place, they're required to follow them. Well, our policies are the way through which we govern. So if we have them, we should adhere to them. That's just one point. I have some other questions. Anyway, when I did get the call yesterday that there would be a special meeting tonight, I was told one agenda item on there. So naturally, by the time I get home from work, it's like 7 o'clock. I look at the agenda. We have a full-blown agenda with items that should be on a regular meeting agenda, not on a special meeting agenda.
So I'm going to answer that question. And the question is that we have many vacancies in the district. And when asked if I can put on HR items, it's important some potential candidates, especially in hard-to-reach areas, as special education, occupational therapy, administration. I have to get the resolution approved by the board so that they can begin services. And if there is an opportunity for me to get those individuals so that they can give notice to their prior employment, then I'm going to take that opportunity.
Okay, and this question is, I guess whoever could answer it. Is there anything in the superintendent's contract or our policies that requires the district to pay her personal legal fees?
Part of settling an agreement where there are charges being withdrawn, which the superintendent was starting to create a defense for, and to release the district from liability, the attorney's fees that are provided for in this agreement are relatively modest, and in part that's a function of the fact that the hearing was delayed. Had this hearing been moving towards conclusion, you'd see a multiple of that as a possible charge to the superintendent.
Did the district delay it?
Should I answer that? There was an interest in seeing the results of the audit reports before going forward.
Okay, so how does this square with Public Officers Law 18? That speaks to indemnification.
Okay, so Public Officers Law 18 indemnifies employees and officers of the school district when they've acted within the scope of their employment. So in the context of reaching an agreement that contains releases from legal liability and therefore a promise not to bring suit, you don't reach the issue of a need for indemnification or defense. And the activities of the boards last year and this year are matters that have been within the scope of their employment, that if there had been litigation, or maybe litigation, as long as you're acting within the scope of your employment, you should be covered by Public Officers Law 18 and also Education Law statutory indemnification provisions and the district's insurance policies.
Oops.
Ms. Bello? I'll defer to Mr. Howard. You've had about 7 questions.
Give her the right, she has the right to ask a question.
I'm not taking away her right to speak. I'm saying we have another person.
I would like to put a motion on the floor to call the question.
We have a motion to call the question.
Second.
Can we get a second? Calling the question regards a majority vote, a supermajority vote, excuse me. We get a roll call?
Roll call to call the question. Mr. Bergarelli,
Yes.
Ms. Burks,
Yes.
Mr. DeRay,
Yes.
Mr. Howard,
Yes.
Mr. Levenstein,
Yes.
Ms. Politti,
Yes.
Ms. Christine Bello,
No.
Ms. Thomasina Bello,
No.
Ms. Boucher.
No.
That passes.
Thank you. Please call the roll. We're voting on 5.2.
Roll call on 5.1, the employment agreement from Mrs. Dr. Jacqueline Manning Campbell. Ms. Burks,
Yes.
Mr. DeRay,
Yes.
Mr. Howard,
Yes.
Mr. Levenstein,
No.
Ms. Politti,
Yes.
Ms. Christine Bello,
No.
Ms. Thomasina Bello,
No.
Ms. Boucher,
No.
Mr. Bergarelli.
Yes.
That item passes.
Take a short pause. Don't say anything yet. Before we continue with regular business, I need to say something about Onyx Peterson. She has been steadfast since this incident began back in January. She's been here. She's made some very, very difficult decisions. Along the way, you know, when we had Dr. Bourne had a deputy. Onyx really hasn't. You know, she's had people step up, but she has done a tremendous amount of work. And sometimes when you're, I was using the word sometimes, but all of the time, when you're in a leadership capability, you have to make some very, very difficult decisions. So thank you so much for your steadfastness. It's very appreciated.
I just want to say to the community, this is what a deputy does. A deputy superintendent is a person that is here for the district day in and day out. And they give their heart, their time, their energy to the stability of this huge district. And that, when I took the job a year ago, and all the things that we've gone through, that is what the role of the deputy, and is what the prior deputy told me about this role, and that is why I took it. It is about Newburgh. So I thank the board for giving me the opportunity to lead, but I am ecstatic and happy to be a deputy.
Dr. Manning.
Good evening. I have missed all of you. It's so great to be in this room. I thank all of you, especially the members of the board, for believing in our district, believing in our students, and believing in the stability to ensure that we can continue to move forward. I'm grateful to be here, and I'm ready to get back to work. But before I do that, I want to take this opportunity to thank Onyx. Thank you for stepping in. We talked countless times. I said, we talk early in the morning and then really late at night. So we'll finally be able to get some sleep, perhaps before 11 o'clock at night. Thank you. Thanks for your support, Cabinet. Thank you very much for hanging in and supporting her. This was a journey, but together we will be stronger. So I want to present something to you, Onyx, on behalf of our team.
All right, next item on the agenda, Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources. Good evening, Ms. Holder.
Good evening. I have items number 6.1 to 6.13 on consent for your consideration.
Thank you. Could anybody like to separate out any of these items? Get a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion on these items? Mr. Levinstein.
So, Dr. Manning Campbell, I know how you've missed my list of all these items, so I'm gonna do this for you. So, Ms. Holder, is the following an accurate description of the human resources agenda being presented tonight? HR agenda items A through L, including appointments, changes statuses, end of assignments, leave of absences, and resignations. Approve a leave of absence and related acting pre-K principal position. Approve an assistant principal appointment. Approve a director of information and technology. Rescind and approve family and community engagement after hours work funded by federal funds. Approve additional appointments for 9th grade transition orientation, 2025 extended school year, substitute administrators, and 2025 fall coaches. And Mr. Grant, so more items here are approve creating 2 special ed teacher positions and 2 teaching assistant positions, which is in addition to the 6 special ed teachers and 11 teaching assistants voted yes by most of the board last week. Abolish an occupational therapist assistant position and create an occupational therapist position. And abolish 5 typist positions and 2 bilingual typist positions to create 6 senior clerk positions. Ms. Holder, is this correct?
Yes, it is.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. DeRay?
Yes.
Mr. Howard? Mr. Levinstein?
Yes.
Ms. Politi?
Yes.
Ms. Christine Bello?
Yes.
Ms. Thomasina Bello? Pardon me. Ms. Boucher?
Yes.
Mr. Bergarelli?
Yes.
Ms. Burks?
Yes.
Thank you. Moving to item 7, Assistant Superintendent, CIO, DPO.
Good evening. For the board's consideration, I present items 7.1 through 7.3 for consent.
Thank you. Would anybody like to separate out any of these items? Any discussion on any of these items? Call the roll, please.
Point of order, sir. There needs to be a motion and a
Okay,
second
a
on the
motion and a second, please.
So moved.
Second. Thank you. Any discussion on these items? Now we can vote.
Mr. Howard?
Yes.
Mr. Levinstein?
Yes.
Ms. Politi?
Yes.
Ms. Christine Bello?
Yes.
Ms. Boucher?
Yes.
Mr. Bergarelli?
Yes.
Ms. Burks?
Yes.
Mr. DeRay?
Yes.
Thank you. This concludes my items.
Thank you. Item 8 is adjourn the meeting. Could a motion and a second to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Mr. Levinstein?
Yes.
Ms. Politi?
Yes.
Ms. Christine Bello?
Yes.
Ms. Boucher? Mr. Bergarelli?
Yes.
Ms. Burks?
Yes.
Mr. DeRay? Mr. Howard?
Yes.